Series. I'm Jim Marshall on the call here for second bracket game for the Florida Burn National, Tampa National 2026. Taking on Team Elite out of Georgia, primarily from the greater Atlanta area. They do have a couple of out-of-state kids. Was talking to a couple of the parents, a couple from Florida and from some other states, but primarily a good core of the kids are from the Atlanta area, and that's where the team is based out of. I'm joined today in the booth by Dan Kerrigan. Most of you at home are familiar with Dan, who's called a bunch of games for the Burn TV. So happy to have Dan back on the air. And Dan, welcome.
Good to be with you, Jim. Looks like we've got second round of elimination play here, and glad it's not a football game today. We've got 5 of the Team Elite boys stand well above 6 foot, but hey, baseball's the great equalizer, and size doesn't matter as much. Yeah,
I was going to kind of throw that to you, is we got a bunch of physical-looking players over there on Team Elite. 13, could be 14, maybe even a couple 15-year-olds. I didn't look at their perfect game roster to see if they have any older kids playing down into the 13U division for the class year. But we can talk about that, obviously, as we go on here. Is sort of a change in the landscape of travel baseball and how it's changed over the past few years. We both have older sons, and back, just a couple of years ago, we didn't see a whole lot of that. Now it seems to be the norm.
Yeah, it's more prevalent today than ever before. I stepped on college campus at 17, so it's just a different animal altogether.
Of course. So Reese Brush will toe the rubber here for Florida Burn National. Defensively, Brady Marshall behind the dish. Ethan Futch at third. Willie Anderson will be at short. Danilo Soto at second. Mateo Dalmau at first. Going around the outfield from left to right, we have Ethan Barclay in left. Briggs Tibbles in center. And Dylan Knight is in right. And we're set for the first pitch here in bracket game number 2. Team Elite and the Florida Burn. And Reese Brush deals fastball, strike 1. Left-handed hitter here for Team Elite. Saw a lot of lefties in the last game as well.
I was watching the prior game here with Team Elite, and the leadoff likes to be early, little lunge at times. We've seen a little sign of that already. See if we can take advantage.
0-2 the count. And Brush spikes another curveball. Brady Marshall blocks it up, keeps it off the umpire.
The last time out, Reese was almost equal change to curve ratio, which is interesting, starting to work that change more.
And Marshall doing his best job there to block a couple up. Was unable to keep that one out in front. But as we said, kept it off the umpire. And Dan, being a catcher yourself back in the day, you know how important that is, especially early in the game.
Mission critical right there. Cannot hurt the advocate.
Grady Emerson, leadoff hitter for Team Elite, waves at a fastball and goes down swinging for out number 1.
I like him. Speed him up, slow him down. They did a great job, and then locates down and away, gets the swing and miss, but really like the change of speeds that Reese is off to.
Yep, and he's down in the zone. We saw Roman Petrocelli up a little bit in the zone to start the last game, and they were able to find some barrels. Reese is trying to work down in the zone, especially with the size of these kids. You let that ball up around belt high, and you're going to be asking for new baseballs.
Not that I mention it, but the flagpole here has the wind going straight out to center.
We are in the A quad here at Boomba, which is bigger fields. Looks like 320 down the line. I know the B quad is 300 down the line, so these fields are 320 down the lines and 385 to center, which normally you wouldn't think would be a factor with 13-year-olds, but with the bats these days that the 13-year-olds are still able to use, the size of the field does come into play.
Yeah, that all ends next year, but for the most part.
Reese throws that one in there for a strike. Carson Bolman, the hitter for Team Elite. I do not have a roster, so I'm playing off the Perfect Game Diamondcast. I'll tell you my little secret here. But it does take a little bit of a minute for them to load the next hitter in. He's on for a 5-pitch walk. Team Elite has something cooking here with 1 out in the top of the first. So a 3-hitter stepping to the plate.
Looking for that 1 pitch, 2 outs here. Be a great momentum builder for us going in the dugout. So keep an eye on that, see if we can get the ground ball. Turn 2.
Pitcher's best friend. Rush throws a firm fastball in the other half for strike one.
Really like that he challenged there, Jim. You know, I think so many times we get in the heart of the lineup and we get away from establishing a fastball. So real nice job there by Reese.
Yeah, Dan, you and I talked about that earlier about seeing a lot of guys where they come out and as soon as the 3 or 4 hitter steps in the box, the first pitch is always a breaking ball because everybody's afraid to throw him a fastball. So good, as you said, for Reese to get out there and establish that fastball in the outer half. Pitch is being called from the dugout for the burn.
Not unusual in amateur baseball these days.
Not unusual at all. I've seen Stegbauer occasionally, he'll let the guys call it, but in a game of this importance, where we're getting down to, you know, each game could be the last one of the season, he's not taking any chances, putting all the pitch calling on taking the responsibility on himself and not putting it on his young 13-year-old catchers.
Sure. Catcher runs fairly well. Watched him last game, hitting in the 3-hole for them. It's a little unusual that you got a guy with speed. Of course, we got somebody clogging the bases up ahead of him here, it looks like.
Rush, another throw over to first to check. And Dan, how important is it the pitcher to throw over a couple times, mix his looks, his timing, just to give the catcher a chance to throw anybody out when they're trying to steal?
Well, you know, it's interesting. We're not necessarily looking for the pickoff. We're looking for him to slow a step for that double play opportunity, really, and here it is. Sorry for
down to third. As you said, looked like it was tailor-made to be a double play, but a little man pushed it out of Ethan Futch's glove. And that'll go as an error for sure. And now Team Elite has first and second with 1 out. Still 1 pitch away, but certainly a bigger threat here having 2 guys on with 1 out. And this guy that just stood in, the 4-hitter for Team Elite, is pretty big.
Nice block.
Bounces about a 57-footer, and Brady's able to push himself out and let that one hit him right in the chest and land on the plate. No chance for the runners to advance there.
Nice athletic play by Mr. Marshall.
This guy, Dan, he's got to be 6'1", 6'2", and about 180 pounds.
That's about right. I'm picking up on a size 13, 14 shoe there, so he's healthy. Oh,
Outer half, right back to Reese. Looks to second, to Soto for 1, and over to first, to Dalmau for the second, and he gets the best friend ground ball double play there, and out of the inning.
Beautiful
manages
comeback
to work out of some first and second 1-out trouble. So nothing for Team Elite in the top of the first as we head to the bottom of the first. You're watching Burn TV. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Burn TV. Team Elite taking the field for the first time. Waiting for the pitcher to load in here so I can get his name. Anyway, he's a big, tall lefty, well built, strong lower half. And Dan and I were talking in the break. He believes it's, what did you say, Dan, the 6th lefty we've seen so far?
Yeah, in 5 games, so you know, a little unusual. Of course, you come to a tournament like this, you fully expect each team to have a couple lefty arms, but I think the word's out. They want to try that approach with us. We did end up having some success knocking a lefty out last game, so hopefully Matthew Kerrigan's ready to go.
Kerrigan, Futch, and Knight will lead it off in the bottom of the first here for the Burn. Kerrigan with a big triple last game that knocked in 3 runs and helped fuel a strong offensive performance by the Burn, which they needed after falling into a 4-0 hole in the first 2 innings. So Kerrigan will stand in. Against a physically big and appears to be mature Team Elite team. We watched their catcher in the game before our first one, and he's pretty athletic, able to block, strong arm, which we know this Burn team likes to run. We'll see how that plays into factor later in the game. First pitch to Kerrigan, he grounds it to short. Shortstop's up with it, firm throw over to first to get Kerrigan in time. Catcher hustling down the line. I love to see that, Dan, at this age, 13U. The Florida Burn guys both do it. Glad to see this guy do it. It's just the way the game's supposed to be played.
I would agree. It's it's fairly rare. I mean, I'd say 50% of the teams where you see that catcher really getting after it down the line. I think it's a big energy play for the team to build off of.
That'll bring on Ethan Futch, 474 on the year. Takes a fastball down. Futch with 22 hits on the year, 7 doubles, 7 triples, 24 RBIs. Walked 16 times, a mainstay in this order for the Rick Stagbauer's Burn team.
Yeah, Futch's been hot all summer. Really could put him about anywhere in the lineup, 3-4. But Rick likes him here in the 2-hole. Usually Matthews on base. He chased the pitcher's pitch on the first pitch there, but see if Futch can get us a double in the gap.
Takes a fastball in the inner half for a strike. 2-1, I believe, is the count. No scoreboards here at the Boomba Complex.
Those are a thing of the past, Jim.
Yeah, especially in the summer circuit. And he takes that one on the outer half for a strike.
Looked like a change to you.
Yeah, it looked like a change up, maybe a little bit of an arm side run. 80 miles an hour. Again, a big physical lefty on the mound for Team Elite. Misses down and away. And Dan, the Florida Burn guys got to have that lefty approach when anytime you're facing lefty, especially when you've seen 5 or 6 of them. You should be in that. It should be just a quick flip of the switch, right? But it doesn't seem to always work that way.
It doesn't. You think after that many reps, yeah, we really got to stay in there on that pitch. The last thing you want to do is leave it in the umpire's hands. So we're too close to call there.
Futch took a firm fastball there for strike 3. And there's quickly 2 away for the Burn. That'll bring on Dylan Knight. Knight, 378 on the year. 5 doubles, 2 triples, 21 RBIs. One of the original members of Rick Stagbauer's Team Florida team that then became the Kangaroo Court Ruse, that then became the Florida Burn.
Knight can be a party killer. He quietly will barrel up a lot of baseballs. He's a rather quiet young man, but his bat does do the talking.
Oh, his bat has been doing the talking since he was 8 years old, Dan. That 9, 10, 11, that kid was hitting the ball over the wall on the regular.
It's good to see he didn't mature out of that.
Yeah. Fastball, he's a little bit late. Fastball on the inner half, a little late there.
Yeah, I hate to say it, I think the young man on the mound that we have, it may take a time, the guys, just to get a good look at him, and if somebody just lean into him here, get a little momentum going, it'd be great, but he's going to be tough.
He's going to be tough. He's got pretty good command of that curveball. He looks like a pretty polished pitcher for a 13, 14-year-old kid. Fastball is 80, 81, curveball 64, 65. So not only do you have to get ready to be able to hit that low 80s fastball, but you also got to be able to adjust to a pretty good breaker. That one's in the dirt. Dylan Knight will scamper down for a walk, a 2-out walk for the Burn. That'll bring on Cole Travers. Travers, a recent addition to the squad for this tournament in PG World Series. Plays on a different Burn team. 429 so far with the Tampa National squad. And Dylan Knight is picked off at first base.
So strange look by Knight. I don't know if he felt like there was a balk move there possibly, or a illegal pick.
Yeah, a tough angle from where we're sitting at to see if it's an illegal pick. But anyway, Dylan Knight is picked off first base after a 2-out walk. And any chance of a 2-out rally starting there was quickly squashed by the pitcher with a good lefty move over there. So 0-0 after 1. And Reese Brush coming out for his second inning. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back in just a minute. And welcome back to the Boomba Complex for round 2 action, bracket play. Florida Burn, Tampa National 2026. Team Elite out of the Atlanta, Georgia area, 0-0 after 1 full inning. Reese Brush on the mound for the Burn. First pitch. Fastball, good arm side run there for strike 1.
We're going to have to sharpen up the defensive play. You know, here we're going to be in a battle. Opposing pitcher off to a good start. So if Reese can match and defense help him out, we can stay in the hunt.
1-1 on a fastball that missed there.
Attention Boomba Sports Complex guests. Concession stand in Hub B will be closing in approximately 15 minutes.
And a good off-speed pitch, change up there for strike 2.
Nice arm action there. I think that's some of the best arm action I've seen with him. Fastball to change, letting that grip slow the ball down.
Yep,
it looked
good
really
arm action.
good.
And it also ran away a little bit too, which was nice to see. Colton Goulet is the batter. And he gets one on the handle. Swinging bunt, Ethan Futch comes in. Nice play by Futch to throw off his foot and get Goulet at first for the first out of the inning.
Beautiful little swing there. Futch comes charging in. Deep submarine toss across the first, right on the money. Beautiful play.
And that's what we need to see out of this Florida Burn team is tightening it, like as you said, tightening up the defense, because we're going to be in for a battle here. Big bender in there for a strike from Brush.
Number 51's got some size. I think I saw him park his F-150 right before he came to the
Fastball away. Skips away from Marshall, but nobody on. Same defensive alignment for the Burn as the first inning. Marshall behind the plate. Futch at third. Willie Anderson at short. Soto at second. Down at first as that ball's fouled down the line. Barclay in left. Briggs Tibbles in center. And Matthew Kerrigan is out in right. I believe Dylan Knight started out there. Matthew Kerrigan's out there now. So there was a defensive change. This is Wyatt Shelley at the plate.
What's our count here, Jim? Do you have it?
I believe it's 1-2.
Okay.
Maybe 2-2. 2-2, sorry, 2-2.
Right on cue. Coach Rick just asked the same question.
Diamond Cass is 1 pitch behind. Winds and delivers. That ball's in the dirt outside, blocked again by Marshall.
Looks like Reese has fallen off a little bit on that pitch. I think if he can stay downhill and finish, he's going to get that extra 2 feet he's looking for.
3-2 pitch to Wyatt Shelley. And Marshall stays under and grabs a strike there for strike 3.
Brady getting Matthew involved in the game. I got no problem with that. Make sure Matthew's awake out there.
Coach is getting on Brady, who overthrew the first baseman on strike 3. So Coach is getting on him a little bit, but I think he may have stolen a strike there by staying under that pitch.
I think he absolutely stole the strike, and he kept Matthew awake in the game. So I appreciate it.
Ball 1. 2 outs here in the top of the second. Good firm fastball there for strike 2.
About every third pitch, Reitz will fall off a little bit. When he stays downhill, I'm telling you, he's really finishing those pitches well, Jim.
Curveball hit in the air.
Nice play.
Mateo Dalmau able to dive forward and catch it in foul territory for out number 3.
Jim, don't look now, but I think this is the Byrne defense we're accustomed to seeing.
Yes, sir. Doing a much better job getting the leather to the ball, and the key to taking care of the baseball. You and I talked about it earlier, or late yesterday, I believe, or earlier today, was about being able to play defense, especially once you get to that 14U level, because the bats kind of even out and take some of the bigger kids out of play. Some of the balls that maybe you think are going a lot further than they will with the 13U bat are going to be fly ball outs a lot of times with the BB core or the wood bat, and that defense is really a premium.
100%. And, you know, as we mentioned there, you've got the pitchers with another year of size and strength. You know, you combine that with the fact that now the bat is changing drastically, sweet spots reducing, and the infield's a lot more active.
Sure. So we'll take a quick break here as Team Elite taking a little bit of time to get out to the mound. So we'll be back in just a minute. You're watching Byrne TV. All right, welcome back to Sanford, Florida, Booma Complex. Bottom half of the second inning, no score between the Florida Byrne, Tampa, and Team Elite from Georgia. Cole Travelers will step in as Dylan Knight was picked off to end this bottom of the first for the Byrne. So he'll start with a fresh count, and he'll look at a fastball in the outer half for strike 1. And that's a curveball. It appeared to be down, but looks good enough for home plate umpire. Call it a strike. And Travers is down 0-2. With Logan Buckley on the mound. Big, tall, athletic lefty. Fastball misses up, changing the eye level there. To Cole Travers. Fastball. Team Elite wanted that one, but appeared to be on the white line or on the wrong side of the white line, and he doesn't get it.
Yeah, we're getting a little more consistency here behind the plate than many times here in the past. So
hits that one on the ground, past the diving second baseman into center field for a base hit.
That ball had eyes, Jim.
Yeah, it wasn't hit very firmly, but I think the turf helped it scoot out into center field a little bit.
We'll take it. You know, we saw a big lefty earlier in the tournament, up to 83. You know, the Byrne players handled that fairly well. He was effective early, but he threw a lot of pitches, got him out, and I think we've got a very similar makeup here.
That'll bring up Willie Anderson, hitting .377 on the year. Pair of doubles, 5 triples, 17 RBIs. Anderson swings through a good fastball there. Hit a couple hard barrels yesterday, Dan.
He did, a couple wall bangers yesterday, and I think Willie's approach has to be a little different here. We got to look to that right side, right center. Young man staying out.
And strike 2 in the inner half there.
That was center cut.
We talked earlier, Dan, about you can see the maturity in a pitcher if they're able to get the ball to both sides of the plate.
Why have half when you can have it all, right?
That's right. A lot of pitchers, especially lefties, rely on that outside part of the plate and are afraid to throw the ball in, but once they're able to come in and establish that inner part of the plate, it opens up so much more.
The off speed becomes drastically and dynamically more difficult.
Oh! Fastball laced back through the middle, nearly took off the pitcher's head. And Anderson's on first and second. Nobody out here in the bottom of the second for the Burn.
That'll wake you up. I think I heard him say mommy when that went by.
That ball was smoked. Logan Buckley, fortunately able to get out of the way and avoid a head trauma there.
Wow, that's the hardest ball we've hit, seen hit today, for sure.
That'll bring on Ethan Barclay. Bark says he's known by his teammates. Squares around the bunt. And the Florida Burn looking to play a little small ball here early in the second inning.
So folks there, Bark squares around. Again, difference between the sacrifice and the bunt for the hit is you're going to give yourself up early for the team, be ready to catch that ball using angles, get that ball down. Everybody in the ballpark knows you're bunting. So let's see if we still got it on, the sacrifice.
Coach Stegbauer, we know, loves to play small ball. Squares again and hits a
line drive
at the third baseman. Fields it on one hop and easily goes over to tag second.
Bunted the barrel on that one.
Bunted the barrel. And Dan, you look at the bat he's using. So we've talked about these bats before. That White Ghost seems to be one of the hotter bats in the 13U market. You go up there and you think you're bunting. Do you, as a hitter, do you think you'd ever think about using a different bat, not the one that's going to fly off the barrel?
I don't think our 13-year-olds would, but I'd put a bomb bat in the next kid's hands if he's going to do it. We got one in the dugout, which is essentially a wood composite, but I agree with you.
That'll bring on Mateo Dalmau with one out here in the second. And he takes a daddy hack at a fastball in the inner half. Swings through it. First and second for the Burn here with one out.
I tell you, I still like the aggression early. Head, pulled out, but beautiful cut there, just missed. But let's see if we dials in here. A little different approach this time.
Lefty, lefty. Goes away with a ball moving down and out away from Dalmau. He's able to spit on it and not chase. Dalmau hitting .325 on the year. From the left side. Has a double and a couple triples. 19 RBIs. Takes a fastball up and in.
It almost had a cut look to it, like he
did
left it open there a little bit. Yeah, backed up on him. What are we, 21 here, Jim?
I believe it's 2-1, yeah. Umpire calls timeout. I think we got guys standing outside the Florida Burn dugout. Umpire's monitoring the dugout now.
Burns' energy's a little different this game. Glad to see them up.
Picked to first, almost had him. Barclay's able to dive back head first.
Something going on. He's either got a fantastic move or there's another level of deception.
Well, the first baseman's playing behind in his back pocket, so maybe he just snuck in there and Barclay not ready for it because the first baseman is not holding him in a traditional manner.
I'll tell you, this catcher does like to back pick, just based on a little observation the last game. Folks at home, it's a little terminology. Catcher throwing behind the runner, so he can back pick at first or second. We got runners on first and second. So. Not typical with a lefty in the box, although it gives him some cover.
2-2 to Dalmau. Took a fastball on that last pitch. Bender, weak grounder to second, could be two. And it is. And Team Elite gets a friendly helper on a ground ball to short for a double play. And that'll put a squash on a potential rally that the Florida Burn had working there with first and second and nobody out and then one out.
So the catalyst that inning for our demise, we had very strong barrel bunt to third, and then we get that soft ground ball, slow the bat down, unfortunately banged us out right there.
Yeah, unable to execute that bunt was certainly a key momentum changer there for the Burn. But they'll get set, and we got a 0-0 game after 2. As Reese Brush comes back out to get his warm-up pitches, we'll take a break, and we'll be back in just a minute. You're watching Burn TV. And welcome back to the Boomba Complex. Reese Brush has finished up his warm-up pitches and is ready to toe the rubber here in the top of the 3rd. 0-0 after 2. I wouldn't call it a traditional pitcher's duel, as both pitchers have been able to work out of some jams with the help of the double play ball. Reese Brush misses up and away with a firm fastball. 1-0 is the count to Buckley.
Buckley's on the bump today, so he's going to try to help himself, and Reese is going to do his best to discourage him. So,
big, strong lefty stands in the box. Waves at a really good changeup there by Reese Brush. And Dan, I know the fastball has been pretty firm from Reese in the upper 70s right now, but the changeup seems to be his best pitch right now.
It really does, and you want to pitch off that fastball, especially that arm action. Just did it again. Yeah, Reese usually stays anywhere between 72 to 76, I think, and that arm action's spot on here. He's starting to find it.
Another good changeup there from Brush. Buckley's down in the count, 1-2. And he throws a 3rd one, and Buckley chases. Boy, that thing had some arm side run on it. And
yeah, for those at home, be mindful. We've got a lefty in the box, a righty on the mound. With that change, will run away typically from the lefty, and then of course vice versa. The lefty's change will run away from the righty.
Yep. It's good to see a 13-year-old kid that's developed that. Well, I'm going to call it the 3rd pitch, because most kids go fastball, curveball, and they always struggle I don't say struggle, they don't spend enough time working on it. I feel like the changeup's always a forgotten pitch until you get to high school.
That's something that Matthew and I talk about often. As a matter of fact, I want to see him using that far more than the breaking ball. So yep. 100% correct, and having 3 instead of 50-50 is a much better ratio for you.
And there's an attempt at a curveball, bounced about 56 feet off Brady's mask and over to the side of the backstop. Dawson Vaughn stands in, number 84.
It's a good change count here, 1-1.
For the Team Elite. Ball misses away. Off Brady's glove.
So Brady's helping keep on deck's cardio up. I appreciate that.
Balls he should be catching though. As Dad, I'm going to be a little.
I don't know, Dad. I kind of like it.
There's a firm fastball down and away. Good receive on that one. While he let the other one go to the backstop, he definitely stayed under that one and perhaps stole one that was a little bit down.
Folks, a lot more options when you're working ahead in the count, and Reese has been doing that consistently.
There's a fastball in the inner half, hit high in the air to left. Barclay's under it. And he squeezes it for the 2nd out of the inning.
Notice some one-handed catches out there in the outfield, Mr. Kerrigan included, and my preference when you camp is 2 hands. We'll talk about that later, but needless to say, 2 down.
2 down. As Reese Brush goes to the rosin bag. A lot of the Florida Burn guys have been going to the rosin for it's very, very humid out here on this turf, and the guys have been trying to use that rosin to keep their hands dry.
It's amazing. I think we've had a 15-degree shift just in the last hour out here in temp.
Yep. Big bender there, but it bounced. for ball 1. Swing and a miss. Good pitch there from Reese Brush. 1-1. Fastball in the inner half, hit hard, out to left, but in the air. Right at Ethan Barclay, and he squeezes it for out number 3. So through 2.5, we got a 0-0 ball game here. As Florida Burn Tampa National comes to bat here in the bottom of the 3rd. You're watching Burn TV. We'll be right back. And we're back here at the Boomba Complex as Logan Buckley finishes up his warm-up pitches. Buckley, a good outing so far. He surrendered 2 hits, but hasn't given up a run through 2 innings of work. He's got 27 pitches, 59% strike percentage. Good firm fastball, topped out at 83. He's averaging fastballs around 79 to 80 with a good curveball. And Dan, we've talked about the importance of strikes, throwing strikes, and Buckley right at about 60% here.
Which is excellent. 60 to 70 is outstanding. Keep in mind too, folks, these games are shortened at the moment. 5 innings, hour and a half.
Yeah, we haven't touched on that yet this game. We talked about it a little bit last game. Due to all the rain we've had this week and the PG folks having to schedule games and make sure guys can still get back on their airplanes to go home and then the tournament on time, they've had to juggle the schedule around. We're currently playing under a condition of 5 innings or an hour and a half for these first couple rounds.
Not to mention we scratched the 5th pool play game, and I know, Jim, you touched on this prior, but both of these pitchers are going out there absolutely expecting to finish the ball game, so we just need to finish with 1 more run.
Yep. Runs appear to be at a premium thus far. Bottom of the 3rd, 0-0. 2 hits so far in the game, and they're both from the Burn. And they're telling Danny from the dugout that he should have wore that one, but I'm not sure I'd put my head in front of an 83-mile-an-hour fastball either.
So that's otherwise known as the ear hole, and he was able to just get away from it.
3-0 count to Danilo Soto. And Danilo is going to take a second, and so is Team Elite, to regroup here and see if they can get on the right page after throwing 3 balls that were nowhere near the zone.
I think he's starting to labor just a little bit, and whether you want to admit it or not, this humidity gets to anyone at any age. Now, we have the comfort of shade and rocking chairs out here, but the boys are on both teams have been out there already today, and here they are again.
Yep. Yeah, and only at 30 pitches, but we don't know where he played in the last game that they played. Maybe he's their first baseman. We know he's hitting in this game, so maybe he played a full game the first time, and so now he's out there fighting this humidity.
That was outside.
And that ball caught the corner, according to the home plate umpire.
I think it was a corner of the white line, but yeah, it did.
3-1 count to Danilo Soto.
Not uncommon. 3-0, a little more liberal with the zone in that situation. So here we go, hitters count.
Donnie, officially, or so affectionately known by his teammates as Donnie. Same pitch, and Soto, not going to get fooled by it twice, laces it out to right field past the second baseman. And boy, he almost got thrown out from right field.
I think he changed him up there. and Soto stayed on that pitch just to the right of second base, and it was bang, bang at first, and looks like, yep, we got Ricky Stegbauer in the run for Mr. Soto.
So after nearly getting thrown out on the base hit to right, we know Soto doesn't run real well. Rick Stegbauer not going to take any chances, or even in the third inning here. He's going to his son Ricky, who runs pretty well. Knowing runs may be at a premium this game, he's going to put some speed on the bases with Reese Brush coming to the plate.
And I think you got to do that. You got to burn Ricky here to give yourself an opportunity to get this run across. And the one place we can't be is in the air here. So we got Reese trying to help his cause. We're going to see if Coach...
He lets him swing it there. Are you surprised at that, Dan? I was thinking a bunt was coming.
I'm very surprised at that, but maybe it's coming on second pitch. Maybe he was giving him one.
So 0-1 to Reese Brush. And a good pitch there by Buckley.
Coach Mike knows something we don't know.
Brush finds himself down on the count 0-2. I thought for sure from all the times I've watched this team that there was a bunt coming there.
Especially with the pinch runner situation.
Spikes that one. 1-2 count to Brush. And we saw with a lefty on the mound and a catcher that throws well, stealing bags is not going to be easy to do.
He's picked off one and almost picked off two, so I'm with you.
Hits that one on the ground, foul towards the third baseline.
I'll tell you what I take right now, Jim, is a swinging bunt, and anything to move that runner.
Yeah, swinging bunt with an overthrow would be ideal, actually.
We've got Briggs Tibbles on deck. Now, the one thing I'll say, Briggs typically handles the fastball well. So
1-2 count to Brush. Stegbauer with a short lead over at first. Hits that one in the air, back to the screen. Stay alive, 1-2.
You don't know if maybe Coach Mike with the busted bunt earlier, a little gun shy here, not sure.
Could be. With that lefty, it's even hard to hit and run because he's got to be so careful not to get picked off over there. So if you hit and run, he's going to get a late jump, and you swing through it, you're probably getting thrown out. Lefties with good moves make it very tough. 2-2 to Brush. Curveball swung through and missed. And that's a big out for Buckley. Keeping Stegbauer at first. One out here in the bottom of the third. And now Buckley's one pitch away from getting out of this inning, although Briggs does run very well. So a tough guy to double up with Stegbauer on first and Briggs at the plate.
And we got more speed behind him. Matthew Kerrigan runs fairly well. So really, we've got three of our best runners either approaching the plate or on the bases.
That ball's hit on the ground firmly. Backhanded on the ground by the second baseman. He's only going to be able to get one at second. With Tibbles running really well, no chance at two on that one.
So interesting. Not sure how Tibbles and Big Country missed each other. The first baseman had his foot square in the middle of the bag there. Tibbles pulls an Olympic move and misses him.
Well, good thing he's an athlete because I don't think he's going to win that head-on collision.
No chance.
That's like an F-150 and a Yugo. So that'll bring on Matthew Kerrigan. Rolls one over to the second. And that'll do it for the Florida Burn in the bottom of the third. So nothing through three. As the Florida Burn National and Tampa Elite, Team Elite from Georgia are battling here in the second round. Nothing tie in what is going to be a shortened game. 5 innings or an hour and a half. Once we reach that mark, either 5 innings or an hour and a half, we will go to the perfect game tiebreaker, which is bases loaded and one out. Hopefully we won't get to that point, but we figured we'd touch on it now. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back in just a minute. Back here on field A1, the A complex at Boomba Sports. The bigger of the two turf sections of the Boomba Sports complex. 320 down the lines, 385 to center. Nothing game here. Top of the fourth, Florida Burn and Team Elite. Reese Brush on the mound for the Burn. First pitch ahead in the count with a fastball for strike one.
Got him fishing with a change here. First at bat.
Fastball misses up. This is Grady Emerson, leadoff hitter for Team Elite. 0 for 1 with, as you said, Dan, with a strikeout in his first at bat. And he spikes a fastball, blocked by Brady Marshall there. 2-1 count to Grady Emerson.
Make him earn it, guys. Make him earn it. You do not want to put leadoff hitter on, especially in this situation. Make him earn it.
And a good firm fastball away there, and the umpire did not call it a strike, and I'm not sure why. That looked like a pretty good pitch.
Look good from here. Make him swing it.
Fastball there for a strike.
That was the twin cousin of the first pitch.
3-2 to Grady Emerson. And the fastball misses up and away. And as you said, playing with fire, leadoff man walks for Team Elite here in a tight game in the fourth.
You know, I'll tell you, we're in the fourth, 5-inning game, even though we've got the number 2 hitter up who's quite large and athletic. Let's see what their coach is thinking.
Yeah, we'll see if he goes to the bunt here and plays for 1 run. As you said, the shortened game of 5 innings or an hour and a half can change the strategy a little bit. Ethan Futch is in front of the bag at third, and he squares the bunt. Bunts it right back to the pitcher. Not hard enough to get the guy at second.
I like the call there.
Reese Brush able to get the out at first. Team Elite missed an opportunity there as Futch came in and Willie Anderson failed to get over to third, or the catcher failed to get over to third there. Brady Marshall failed to get over to third on that bunt, and the runner probably, if he didn't slide into second base, could have walked to third base because no one was there.
Yeah, I didn't catch that, Jim, but you're right. That is catcher's job. Runs down there, covers third, so either Futch if he's fully committed, otherwise he's got to turn hustle back, but thankfully runner slides in, as you said. We got away with one.
That'll bring on the 3-hitter. Joseph Matigia. Oh, he's the catcher. This is the catcher. 0 for 1 on the day. And that bunt play over there, Dan, is pretty interesting because that ball's bunted right back to the pitcher. And traditionally, you'd want the third baseman to go back because it's obviously a shorter run.
Do you want to read there?
Yep.
Yeah, the bunt didn't have as much juice as I thought initially off the bat. Died just a little bit.
Yep.
So Reese thought about it.
Yep.
And then
wisely went to first.
Wisely went to first, yeah. That was the right call.
Yep. Good firm fastball there from Brush for a strike. One's the count. Ball hit sharply down the left field line, but foul.
I gotta tell you, Jim, I feel a changeup coming here. Something off speed.
1-2 count to Matiga, who reached on an error in the first inning, ground ball to third.
Reese really taking advantage of that rosin. Looking for a little more grip here on what I think is going to be a off-speed pitch.
1-2 pitch from Brush. Fastball on the outer half, hit high in the air to right field. Kerrigan goes back, he's under it, he makes the catch. Emerson's going to tag easily from second and head to third.
A little surprised he goes fastball there. That ball's hit fairly deep. 1-2 count, just hooked one, but still effective. We've got 2 outs and we can work our way out of this thing.
2 outs now. It's really important for Marshall to be able to keep the ball in front of him here and not give up a cheap run.
Yeah, Team Elite's center has come to the plate here. Stands about 6'8". No, I'm kidding. It's more like 6'3".
Coleman Borthwick hits the ball in the air to
That should
left.
be caught.
Barclay's coming in hard. He dives, and he makes the catch for out number 3. Heck of a play by Ethan Barclay to catch that ball in the air and prevent Team Elite from going ahead. After 3.5 innings, it's still 0-0 Florida Burn, Team Elite. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.
That's pretty efficient.
We're back here at the Boomba Complex. 0-0 after 3.5. As Logan Buckley finishes his warm-up pitches. Currently sits at 41 pitches on the day, 60% strike percentage. Fastballs in the low 80s, topped out at 83. Ethan Futch will step into the plate. And let's see what Futch did. He's 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout.
Yeah, he snuck a fastball by him there at the first at bat. Buckley's been real efficient today, and of course Reese is countering quite well.
Good efforts by both pitchers for sure.
That ball's hit hard.
And Futch laces that one to center, but the center fielder's playing at about 180 and is right there to catch that. Team Elite banking on the fact that they haven't been burned over their heads yet. I'm not sure they've been watching any of the Florida Burn games though, because we've hit a couple out to the gaps near the wall. The center fielder playing very shallow against this Burn team. Dylan Knight steps in, takes a curveball for strike 1.
And Jim, it looks like Buckley's really finding the curve now. Didn't quite have it early, but has come to find that pitch, and he's, a little bit of that get me over.
Yeah, it's got a good bend to it.
Good bit of depth.
Misses outside with that one. 1-1 to Dylan Knight, who walked in his first at bat.
Game's always easier from where we're sitting, but he's telegraphing that a little bit. I think he's giving that away, slowing that arm down a little bit. Maybe we can pick up on it.
1-1 pitch from Buckley, bounces in the dirt. That was another attempt at a curveball. Not as good on that one. 2-1 to Dylan Knight. 3-hitter for the Burn. This is down 3-1.
Catcher wanted that.
He did a good job staying under it, but wasn't able to steal it.
Looked a little surprised as he threw that back to his pitcher there, but that does happen from time to time.
He gets that one on the inner half. 3-2 full count.
Really let that glove drift there. I'm surprised he got that call.
I am too. He also opened up his hand, didn't keep his thumb down, and kind of body over to it. Buckley's got some of these Tampa Burn guys figured out as he records a strikeout there for the first out of the bottom of the 4th. Knight's not an easy out, doesn't strike out very often, but Buckley got him pretty good on a ball down and in there. That'll bring on Cole Travers. DHing for the catcher, Brady Marshall. Travers hitting in the 4-hole, 1 for 1 today. Singled on a ground ball up the middle, his first at bat.
So he is back through the order here a second time, and what I'm noticing, a lot of pitching backwards now. So we're getting a lot of off speed early, breaking balls early in the count.
Ball's down in the dirt. Dan, as you said it, yeah, you're right. I think he attacked with the fastball the first time through, and now he switched it up and pitching a little backwards this one.
That is the difference between throwing and pitching.
Keeping these guys off balance. Another bender there from Buckley. Travers spits on it for a ball.
I'll tell you, pitch has a lot of depth to it. He's definitely gone to it. I bet he's 60% curveballs here in this this half of the inning so far.
And that's ball forward, Cole Travers. And the Burn have a 2-out base runner here for Willie Anderson.
I think it's going to take a heroic effort here, you know, whichever team wants it more. Both have been out in the sun all day. Sun's starting to ease off in the distance, about 15, 20 degrees cooler than it was about 2 hours ago. Whoever wants it more is going to enjoy their supper just a bit more tonight.
For sure. Anderson 1 for 1 on the day. He laced a single back through past Buckley's head in the first at bat. We'll see if he's got a little more of the same here.
Umpire's been really consistent. I tell you, I'm pleased. I've watched a number of games during the tournament, outside the tournament, and you know, far from perfect, but he's done a heck of a good job.
I know a couple of guys on this crew, Dan, and they're pretty good umpires.
You would know that actually, Jim, so that's good to hear.
Swings at a fastball there into the catcher's mitt for strike.
Jim, you think he wanted that one?
I think he wanted to hit that one to the moon. It was a good cut.
Willie sold out on that, but I like the cut.
Buckley comes set. Here's the pitch. Curveball.
Oh, wow.
Catches a corner for strike 2.
Yeah. Tough there.
Backdoor curveball there. Maybe got enough of the corner, according to the home plate umpire.
If you notice Cole's lean at first base, he's really leaning back toward first, taking no chances.
Yeah, Buckley's done a great job of shutting the running game down.
Ball's hit well. Ball's hit real well.
In the right field, over the right fielder's head. Travers is trekking around third. He's going to make it home. And Anderson coasts into third for a triple. And the Florida Burn take a lead here, 1-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning.
I'll tell you, off the bat, Willie stayed inside that baseball and absolutely crushed it. Right off the bat, I felt really, really confident we had burned the shallow outfield, and I mean, that ball was smoked.
You mentioned the shallow outfield there. We talked about it a little bit, and that definitely was a factor there. As the wind is not really blowing too hard out to right center anymore. But Willie stayed on it, hit it in the air, and you called it off the bat that thing was going to carry, and it did right over the right fielder's head. As Willie Anderson with an RBI triple to put the Burn up 1-0 here in the bottom of the 4th inning, with a quick reminder that this game is over in 5. Due to the shortened games, because of all the rain we've had this week, 5-inning game or an hour-and-a-half time limit.
Well, folks, we need a little insurance. I'll go ahead and tell you, 2 is better than 1. We don't have anyone up in the bullpen for Team Elite, so they're going to ride the young man Buckley here. We've got a great opportunity. Barkley's broken out last game. He's feeling good, so I think now more than ever, we need that secondary heroic effort. Great job by Willie Anderson.
Good timely hit by Anderson, but another timely hit by Barclay here would be the difference. Would be a huge help, as you said. Barclay takes the first pitch down in the dirt for ball 1.
Glad to see the Burn with a little life here. You know, I tell you, last game, a little flat-footed, didn't get going till late. And when you're in these tournaments and it's win or go home, you've got to keep the energy up.
A little bit of energy in the dugout. Barclay 0 for 1, fielder's choice. Line drive bunt at the third base. His first attempt. He's not bunting here with 2 outs. Swings, hits it on the ground towards second. Backhanded by the second baseman. And over to first for the 3rd out, but not before Willie Anderson with a clutch 2-out triple to drive in Cole Travers and give Florida Burn Tampa a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the 4th. As we head to the 5th, last inning in the shortened 5-inning game, the Bern are looking for 3 outs here to seal the deal and move on to the quarterfinals. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're watching Bern TV. We're back here in the top of the, top of the 5th inning with the Bern leading 1-0 over Team Elite in the 2nd round game. Top of the 5th, Reese Brush on the mound. He's at 52 pitches, he's thrown 30 strikes, 4 innings of work so far against a good Team Elite. Misses the first one high for a ball.
Really been efficient thus far, folks at home. We're looking for 3 outs. Again, we can't say it enough. We've got a 5-inning ball game here, hour-and-a-half time limit. We need 3 outs to end this game.
1-0. And I apologize to everyone at home. Diamondcast is currently down, so I don't have the names of their hitters. I'm trying to get it to work here. We unfortunately only have numbers. Oh, here we go. Colton Goulet is the batter for Team Elite. 1-1 count. Swings through a changeup. 1-2. Brush is ahead.
So the change was elevated, but the arm action sold it. And folks, you hear don't miss up, but in this case, it can be a little alluring. Arm action sells it. He gets the strike.
1-2. Let's hope he doesn't make a mistake here. Another off-speed pitch down and away, and Goulet swings through it for the first out here in the top of the 5th.
Really like the idea there, going back to the change, so we left it a little elevated. We knew he had a feel for it. He finishes the pitch, and Hope's got nothing to do with it. Nice job, Reese.
He's really pitching here, confident in that off-speed stuff, as you said, Dan. 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Curveball bounces in the other batter's box.
About 54 feet. A little bit of a show me. I think he's really going to stick with that fast change.
Wyatt Shelley, the batter, first baseman for Team Elite, 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout. Good pitch down and away from Brush. Evens the count, 1-1.
I believe another change there, fading down and away to the righty.
He's certainly not giving them middle fastballs to hit.
And he shouldn't.
Another one. Another change up down and away from Brush.
Well, as they say, 3 times the charm, Jim, and that's where I'm going.
I wouldn't move away from it. I'd stick to it. The arm action, as you said, is great, and it's obviously got these guys off balance. Third base coach is going to call timeout and try to break up the
All right, so Jim, I'm going to pose a question to you. Third base coach calls him over, tells him relax, take that ball the other way. Do we try to surprise him here with a little velo, or do we stick with what just worked twice?
Well, I think you got a couple options here. You can go fastball up and in to set up the next one, which is either a breaker or a changeup down away, or you stick to the changeup and you just make sure you throw it in the left-handed batter's box and you can't reach it. We'll see what they go with.
Ball hit not too hard up the middle.
Too hard up the middle.
Oh.
It's another seeing eye base hit. And Team Elite's got a 1-out base runner here in the top of the 5th.
So folks,
a little bit too much of the plate there, I think, Dan.
A little bit too much of the plate. I tell you what, pull cue shot. It was off the end of the bat. Really You couldn't have rolled it out there any better. Not hit hard at all, but the turf helped him.
Yep.
And like you said, caught a little too much of the plate. I tell you, ending on a double play would be pretty nice.
Be pretty good momentum to carry into tomorrow, wouldn't it? So Shelley's on with a seeing eye base hit up the middle with 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Team Elite's chasing a run in what could be their last at bat. Spikes a fastball, gets through the legs of Marshall. Stuck under the fence here in the backstop. So a spiked fastball gets through Marshall's legs. And now Team Elite has the tying run at second base with 1 out here in the top of the 5th.
You have a 1-0 count, Jim?
I have a 1-0 count. I think that was the first pitch.
All right, so let's see how this count goes.
Fastball up and away.
Getting a hitter's count here, I think you put this guy on. So let's see how this develops. It's 2-0 now. We want to go ahead and invoke the force or stay away from him, but the less pitches we make out of the zone, the better. Let's see what Coach Rick's thinking here. We're 2-0.
Need a pop-up or a punchy here would be nice, Dan. Curveball for strike 1. Good bender out of brush. 2-1 count.
Be great if he had that working all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So folks, home, 2-0 count, got a base open. Little bolder there with the curve call, but I like it.
Inside move, nothing doing at second. Brush goes back to the rosin. 2-1 count, 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Brush delivers a fastball, foul tip, squeezed by Marshall for strike 2. Looks like he had a little extra giddy up on that fastball right there.
He did, he reached back, and I tell you, right after that bender and then seeing that fastball now, 1-9 at the plate, got to be wondering with the base open what's coming next. I think Reese is in a great position here to make a good pitch, take care of business.
2-2 is the count. A lot of options for Brush.
Change up.
Throws a change up, hit down the right field line, foul. And Derek Guzman stays alive, fouling off the changeup, down and away.
I tell you, if we can see a fastball like the one prior to that change, I think we get him.
I think he throws it by him too, Dan. He's got to locate it though. If he leaves it up and down the middle, it could be trouble. He's got to be able to locate it somewhere between the plate and that white line of the second base, or the left-handed batter's box. 2-2 pitch to Guzman. Fastball up, elevated, hit into center field for a base hit. Here comes the runner. We may have a play at the plate. Hits the mound and goes over the catcher's head. Brush not backing up. Able to get to it. And now Team Elite has the winning run at second base with 1 out. And unfortunate there, the ball hit the mound.
It did. Ball hit the mound. Of course, that's going to be the go-ahead run as we're home. We get last at bat. But in this situation, the critical component, of course, the run comes in. We think that's probably safely going to be the case, and I believe we keep the runner from advancing to second. But like you said, hits the mound, takes a nasty hop, and we don't have a backup behind Brady, and Brady has to scramble and pick that up.
Yeah, it looked like he came forward because he thought he was going to get it on a bounce, but then it hit the mound and ended up going over his head. I don't know, Dan, were you paying attention if the cutoff man, the first baseman, Mateo Dalma, was he over there, or did the ball just hit the mound? Did he airmail him and it hit the mound? I didn't see.
I didn't. I think he was. Yeah, the cut situation, we were a little delayed getting to.
Yep.
Where that
keeping that guy off second base
took place
would have been big. I'm not sure what Coach Stegbauer's coming out and asking a question here. I'm not sure what the question is.
The only thing I could think would possibly miss a bag.
The umpires are going to get together here.
Whatever it is, they're really thinking about it. Usually it's dismissed early if it's not something with full consideration. But I think you mentioned this crew's pretty veteran, and there's a gentleman out there who's been umpiring quite a few years.
Third base umpire is the crew chief, so umpire supervisor Mo. And they've just declared the guy at second base out, and I'm not sure why, but home plate umpire is going to go give an explanation to the third base coach.
We have interference?
And from what we're hearing, there's interference by the first base coach that is may have helped him along to second base, and they've called that runner out And the Team Elite parents are unhappy about it, but it is part of the game.
So we got a warning on the field here. Third base coach for Team Elite getting a little heated, sharing some words with Coach Rick, and now we've got warnings to the fans as well, out beyond the bullpen. Matter of fact, we've got parents being thrown out of the game beyond the Team Elite bullpen down the left field line. Oh, head coach is gone. I wouldn't say anything to this particular umpire. He's cleaning house.
Now the third base coach has been ejected. So we have fans leaving, and we also have the third base coach for Team Elite.
Well, that's a no-nonsense third base coach, or excuse me, no-nonsense umpire down the third base line.
So we've got a 1-1 game here in the top of the fifth, which was shaping up to be a really, really good baseball game. What started this all, Dan, was an interference call on the first base coach. First base coach interfered with the runner going to second. Fans and the Team Elite third base coach have been ejected, and the third base coach has not left the field yet. Umpire getting pretty heated over there about him not leaving.
So my understanding is the third base coach is having to leave because he was unable to control a fan, is what I'm picking up on there.
Yeah, Dan, I don't believe it's anything that he said or inappropriately or argued with the umpire. I do agree. I think it's because he's unable to control his fans, and as a result has been removed from the game as well. Third base umpire now calmly explaining it to the first base coach, who looks like he's going to have to take over as the third base coach.
And it leaves us with 2 outs, 1 run's in.
2 outs, 1 run in, empty bases here.
Empty bases.
Yeah. So to reset here, we've got a 1-1 game, top of the fifth, in a 5-inning game or hour and a half time limit. Not sure where we are with time, but we are in the top of the fifth. Team Elite at bat with 2 outs and a tie ball game.
Yeah, we're going to have to play this out. Of course, we're the home team in this situation, Jim, so we're going to have last at bat. 2 outs, nobody on.
Yep.
See if we can get back to the dugout, score a run, and go home.
Go home.
A lot of other people going home. I just don't want to go home under those terms.
Yeah. And the fans from Team Elite are going down the right field line now, and they're not going quietly. They're giving the piece of their mind to all the umpires. But we're set for action here. No count, nobody on. First pitch is skied high into right field. Kerrigan going back. He's under it, makes the catch for the 3rd out. So we'll head to the bottom of the 5th, tied 1-1. With the Florida Burn with a chance to walk it off here in the bottom of the 5th.
So Matthew kept carrying there, squeezes it just before the track, and fortunately the sun not giving any more trouble out there to right.
We'll stay on here for a little bit. I want to talk about the hitters we have coming up here for the Burn. It looks like we have Dalmau, Soto, and Brush, so 7, 8, 9 coming up here for the Burn. Although it's the bottom of the lineup, Dan, we've seen these guys be productive, right? If we can get that leadoff guy on, we've got a bunch of speed and some good bunters coming up after that. Expect a lot of small ball, you think, here?
You know, I think you got to. And the other thing to keep in mind is Reese Brush throwing a beautiful game. And sure enough, he comes up to the plate and having an opportunity to help contribute to the offense of a beautiful effort on the mound.
Yep, Brush he is due up 3rd this inning.
It just seems fitting. Still have big boy on the mound here. He's still
yeah, they're going to roll the big lefty back out there. They've got confidence in him, and he's been pitching well so far, only giving up 1 run, scattered 4 hits. His team no error-free so far. But a tough break for Team Elite on the coach's interference, with some fireworks after it. Hopefully the Burn here can get some fireworks of their own going.
playing for one, folks. So expect the small ball.
And Dan, I hate bringing it up because it was my kid, but the wild pitch that kind of went through Brady's legs there really put that guy in scoring position, allowed that single to happen. Unfortunate that the ball hit the mound, but I think that guy was going to score anyway, but that wild pitch there ends up being a key factor in them being able to tie the game.
Well, you know, that position in particular, Brady obviously been blocking up all game long, and you know, you're 100 pitches into a ball game, and that's why it's the most demanding position in sports.
Yep. Fastball that was spiked, unable to get to it, kind of went through the 5-hole right through the legs, didn't get his glove down in time, but allowed that runner to move to second, and then an ensuing base hit tied the game for Team Elite. So here we are now, 1-1, bottom of the 5th. Mateo Dalmau at the plate.
Looks like both fans are in it just a little more after all of the festivities just beforehand. I think we've, you know,
yeah, I'd say the adrenaline's up a little bit.
Adrenaline's
Dugouts
up
are on their feet. Some fans are standing in the stands. 0-1 pitch to Dalmau. Down and in for a ball. 1-1.
So good take there. Catcher slid back in, try to get underneath the hands after working away.
Yep.
And nice take there.
So 1-1 from Buckley to Dalmau. Curveball hit back through the middle.
Get there.
Fielded by the second baseman. Not in time. He airmails him. But Dalmau unable to move up to second. The first baseman got to it pretty quickly.
Coach Bobby's upset, but I don't think Dalmau makes it to. I don't think he makes a good move by Mateo to stay at first base.
I agree with you, Dan. That ball came off the fence, and the first baseman got to it quickly.
We got it.
I think it was a good play for Dalmau to stay at first.
He needed to stay there. Yeah.
It's easy for the first base coach to get a little excited sometimes as soon as you see an overthrow.
He did the right thing.
But I think it was a good play for him to stay there, as you said. And now we have Soto coming to the plate with the leadoff man on.
Now, guys, remember, you know, emotions are high. I think everybody wants to win and do what they can to win, and I think Bobby just got in the moment there a little bit. But at the end of the day, we got a great opportunity. Danilo probably drops down a nice bunt here, I'm thinking.
So Team Elite's going to come out and talk to the pitcher about it. I do think that they're discussing bunt defenses right here, while it looks like the Byrne guys are reevaluating their plan. Prior to the timeout call by the coach, Danilo had squared around to bunt. So maybe they're discussing a little bit of a change here to the strategy depending on how the defense positions itself. I just know as a baseball traditionalist, I'm bunting all day long right here, twice on Sunday, and making them execute a play, trying to get that runner in scoring position to have 2 chances to score them.
Yeah, I tend to agree there, and it also takes a double play out of order.
Especially with the way Danilo runs. Not the fastest guy on the team. He's double play prone. He has hit a bunch of barrels in the last couple of games, but he is a high double play guy just because of his speed.
Yeah, it's situational baseball. He has hit a lot of barrels. Real proud of his effort.
And a pick over to first. Good move by Buckley. We do have a 3-man crew, Dan, that we've talked about, so there is an umpire at first base that's able to see that lefty 45 move. So no balks called yet, but we do have an umpire that's in a great position to see whether it is an illegal move or not. Difficult to call with a 2-man crew with a guy in the middle of the field, but we do have a guy over at first with a good angle at that to tell whether it's a balk or not.
I tell you, he is really flirting with it, though. Of course, I'm back here behind the plate, but as you said, we've got eyes on it.
No square to bunt there, and a good fastball from Buckley in the outer half. Strike 1 to Danilo Soto. So they took the bunt off. We'll see if he puts it back on here. The third baseman is about 4 or 5 steps inside the bag. Squares to bunt.
Oh, nice
Bunts it
bunt.
to the first base side, and it squeaks foul. The catcher picks it up, and Dalmau with a good attempt there, but he's going to be down in the count now, 0-2.
So third baseman crashes. Danilo doing the right thing, wanting to push that toward first base, but just squeaks past the line. I don't think we have a bunt on 0-2, although it is possible.
It is possible. I've seen a lot of high school coaches do it. 0-2, Buckley comes set. And Soto lines one down the right field line.
Well foul, but
boy, wouldn't we like one that squeaked inside the line right now. So he's down in the count 0-2. Buckley with a lot of options here. He's got a bunch of his stuff. He's been working all day. Man on first, nobody out. Fastball, and Soto swings through it for out number 1.
So it looks like, Jim, I just took a peek down at our bullpen. Hope it won't be necessary, but Matthew Kerrigan's up in the bullpen.
Kerrigan's up in the pen. All right. Hopefully, as you said, it's not necessary, and Reese Brush can come through and help himself out here. He's throwing a whale of a ball game on the mound. 1 run on 2 hits through 5. And now with a chance, with an extra base hit here, could give himself a dub.
That's a ball!
The fans wanting a balk, but again, I've said there's a first base umpire right over there. He's got the best view at it on that 45 call.
I can tell you this, folks, he's got a really good move. That was just a show-me move.
Yep.
We saw the good one earlier, but he has practiced that 45.
Of course, and he's for sure taking the running game out of play.
No doubt about it.
Not even an attempt to steal a bag, and one guy picked off and another guy almost picked off for the burn. Fastball belt high, and Reese is on it, hits it back to the screen for strike 1.
I'll tell you, I like the cut there. It looked really good.
Good cut. Reese with a big hit yesterday, in yesterday's game, in a tight ball game actually too. Was able to, can't remember if it was a double, I think it might have been a triple. Did a good barrel, see if we can get another one here. Good fastball, down, inner part of the plate, but called a ball by the home plate umpire.
Who again has been very consistent today.
Yep.
You know, he's not been letting those white line pitches go.
1-1 to Reese Brush. Ball hit on the ground towards third base. Third baseman fields it, doesn't have an option at second. Hit too softly, but he goes to first to get Rush in time for the Reese Brush in time for the second out. That'll bring on Briggs Tibbles with 2 outs and a man on second.
And I tell you, Briggs, he can square up a fastball now. We know he runs well, but the key being Mateo at second base, getting a great secondary deep so he can make that turnaround third. Let's see if Tibbles can find a gap, make it a lot easier on all of us.
Absolutely. The outfield for the Team Elite has been playing shallow all game, so Mateo with good wheels, but not the best wheels. And that ball's hit sharply down the first baseline, but foul. Boy, that would score him easily.
It would, about 5 feet from being right over the top of first base bag.
Again, Dalmau does run well. He's not a burner like some of the other guys, but with the outfield playing shallow, Coach Barclay is going to have a decision to make here with 2 outs on a base hit.
We really want something to move the outfielder right or left. That's really what we're looking for. If we can move him 15, 20 feet right or left, we've got a chance.
That's a good point. Something right at him is going to give him a good chance to make a throw. So 1 strike to Tibbles. Buckley comes set and delivers. Fastball away, fouled off to the right side by Tibbles. Buckley ahead in the count 0-2 with lots of options. Matthew Kerrigan stands on deck. Tibbles, ball down in the zone, fouls it off, stay alive. Still 0-2.
I think he nearly pulled an Ichiro right there. Ball almost bounced and he made contact with it. Stay alive.
Briggs Tibbles with a chance to be the hero. Bottom of the 5th, 1-1 game. Swings and hits the ball sharply to center field.
Really well.
If it gets over the center fielder's head, it's ball game, and it does. That ball gets down. Mayo Dalmau comes home to score, and Briggs Tibbles walks off for the Florida Burn. 2-1 here in a shortened 5-inning game, and boy, is that a clutch hit, Dan.
I'm telling you, elevated fastball, squared it up. Just got done talking about Tibbles' ability to square up the heater. And hey, nice pitching performance by Team Elite today, but got to give it to Briggs Tibbles for winning the day. It was going to take a heroic effort to make it happen.
It sure was. I mean, great pitching by both guys. Buckley was on all day. Reese Brush just a little bit better. And Briggs Tibbles able to burn the center fielder that we had talked about their outfielders playing shallow for the guys, our guys that can hit the ball pretty far, especially with these bats. and it seemed to maybe even cost him the game there, because that ball was hit pretty high in the air.
Oh, yeah.
At normal depth. He may have gotten to that ball.
I think at normal depth he does get to the ball. You know, it's funny, he turned his back, he starts trotting, and I think he couldn't believe that ball carried like it did.
It sure did. Anyway, we benefit from the shallow outfielders and a really good swing by Briggs Tibbles on a clutch hit, a timely hit, 2 out, double to center field to give the Florida Burn a 2-1 win in a whale of a game, advancing the Burn to the quarterfinals tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock here at the Perfect Game World Series in Sanford. And just a gritty performance by the Burn. Didn't have the defense early in the first game. Offense managed to come back and do it for them and get them to this game. Then you have a great pitching outing by Brush. The defense is spot on. 1-0 through most of the, or nothing through most of the game. They squeezed out a run, and then finally a clutch hit in the bottom of the 5th inning gives the Burn the win.
I think they were just saving it up for this big game, this big moment, and just very proud of the young men to step up, have a heroic effort, and we'll get after it again in the 8 a.m.
Dan, it's been a pleasure. Great games today. Look forward to it tomorrow. Thanks, Dan. And we'll see you, and you've been watching Burn TV. We'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m., fellas. And ladies, thanks for watching.